From fire and flood to times which shocked and surprised us, Tasmania has been the centre of significant news and sporting events over the past decade. As the 2010s come to a close, we take a look back at the major moments which rocked our state.
2010 would usher in 10 years of delights and destruction. Mother Nature would be a recurring theme.
The time's 8 o'clock PM for Friday on the 4th. Real bad day. Real bad day.
Every effort, every resource at its limit for a fight unmatched in 6 years.
Many residents were forced to take refuge on the beach.
Koshi, yes, that's right. Dozens of residents had to take refuge on beaches. They were later evacuated by boats and by helicopters.
Tanya's home was one of 20 washed out when the Mersey broke its banks.
To tell you the truth, I just want to cry.
This morning, an absolute rapid torrent.
An influx of water from upstream and heavy rain have hammered the area over the last 24 hours.
A severe weather event has caused destruction across the state.
This was the scene just minutes after the Hobart Rivulet dramatically broke its banks.
10 years of upheaval, anger and despair.
What do we want? Our money!
Gunn says a decision on what happens to employees now rests in the hands of administrators.
Declining sales sealing the fate of 136 workers at ACL.
Caterpillar today confirming fears it would close its Burnie plant.
Halt the mill! Halt the mill!
This is an absolute blow for Queenstown. It's the third death to take place at the mine here in 2 months.
Rusterholz had doused the bodies in petrol and set them on fire. The court also hearing the murder was motivated by the defendant's wish to impress the woman he was in a relationship with at the time.
The scene of an horrific two-vehicle crash, claiming the life of a heavily pregnant 24-year-old Hobart mother. Family and friends bidding farewell to Olga Newberg, the victim of the horrifying shooting in broad daylight. The single-engine rotor-lift helicopter crashed by the side of Hobart Airport's runway after it was seen to be circling above the tarmac.
Our cameras were there when drama unfolded.
More on our breaking news now, where a gunman has fired multiple shots during a siege in Launceston.
That's just one of several exchanges of gunfire ringing out across Maple Avenue in Moona.
Firefighters were called to the Bathurst Street building to find flames billowing from the 85-year-old Bridges Brothers store.
The main street of Margate rocked by a terrifying blast.
They rammed the security doors 5 times in a desperate attempt to take an ATM inside.
We probably see our last goodbyes. I couldn't stop the bleeding.
And some stories have more chapters to come.
Emerging from court after hearing the sentence, one of Neil Fraser's daughters read out a statement from her mother.
Although I understand that I must physically accept the court's judgment, I shall continue to protest my innocence most vehemently.
Police making the grim discovery just after midnight. A man shot dead outside the Marrawar Hotel.
There were the moments which made us smile.
Word came through they had broken the record,
140!
smashing the previous mark set by a club in Cairns by 14 skiers.
Mary arrived just before 11, giving onlookers a quick glimpse before being whisked away by security.
She was looking just like a normal girl.
This golden gift from the green fields of Tasmania means that Connie will be able to keep feeding her animals for a couple of months.
Isn't it? Very it's great.
Then there was the biggest cold case.
The 34-year-old who uses the cooler for transport is now fighting to keep its wheels in motion. The Waverley local got a frosty reception from police when he was caught riding it on the footpath.
Just knockabout bit of fun. I can wheel stand the length of netball courts, both of them.
3 state elections, Tasmanians ending 16 years of Labor rule when they went to the polls in 2014.
Tonight, Tasmanians have voted for change.
Political stories, we had them too.
Decided I'm
never going to get the opportunity to headbutt that again. So I seized the moment.
It is more than a little disturbing.
Touchdown in Tasmania. President Xi and Madam Peng making a somewhat low-key entrance by international standards.
But the 2010s was also when we said our goodbyes.
Hundreds filling the Albert Hall to pay tribute to Sue Napier.
The mouth from the south has fallen silent.
Mr Harradine represented Tasmania in the Senate for 30 years.
And my father was a good man who believed deeply in doing something.
It's here at Parliament House where Vanessa Goodwin leaves a strong legacy. The 48-year-old was diagnosed with an aggressive form of brain cancer.
Growing up in a timber milling family, it wasn't surprising John Gay went on to become a towering figure in the industry.
I've had a good life with a good time for the last 10 years, I'll put it that way. A ride that probably most trainers in Australia would like to have had.
The Saints' great captain, Darryl Baldock, is the toast of the league.
And I worshipped him as a young fellow in Tasmania. And all I wanted to ever do was to play football with Darryl.
And on the sporting front, tales of tears and triumph.
The relief of his parents, the delight of his home crowd.
We spoke long and hard, and there's been a few sleepless nights over the last couple of days to reach a decision, but I'm very comfortable with the decision I've made.
After 105 starts, this is what Ambrose truly wanted.
Marcos Ambrose is your winner.
Tasmania crowned Shield champions.
There it is. It's all over.
Let's get ready to rumble!
The fighting pride of Australia.
He's got it. Daniel Gill has got it. He's gone into the lion's den and he's dethroned Felix Sturm.
That's a massive crash there for Tander. He's smart. That's Rick Kelly involved. Tim Blanchard, Moffat, they're all involved. Have a look at this.
Richie Port surely is going to give us the two-handed salute. Yes, he is. He is the champion of the Santos Tour Down Under.
Hurricanes win. Look at Stuart Broad. A record score.
Oh my goodness me. That is a horrific sight.
The American unchallenged since 2012. Titmus smashing one of the longest winning streaks in history.
She is what dreams are made of. Mystic Journeys won the All-Star by an elected quarter.
Tassie over the Great Godolphin.
The 2010s coming to a close. What will the 20s hold? Tom Johnson, 7 Tasmania News.
What a decade it's been.